So we've been talking a lot recently about the importance of putting together a customer insight strategy, and we believe that every company out there should have one of them. And at its simplest terms, that is communicating back and forth in a two-way conversation with your customers, prospects, partners, donors, anybody that you're working with, right? Opening up the communication lines so that we can be better serving them with the products that you're offering, the services, and whatnot that you have. So we talked about getting to know you survey last time to find out more about them and what's going on. This week, I really want to talk to you about brand perception studies, brand awareness and brand perception studies. So while it's great to find out about your customers, what's happening in their lives, we also need to do is we need to understand what their perception is and what their awareness is of your brand and about the products and services that you sell. Because as we are looking to build out products, create marketing campaigns, sales campaigns, all of these things, we need to understand the lens at which they're looking at the world, right? So perception is reality for our customers of what they believe. And really, people's perceptions ultimately impacts the behaviors and the actions that they take. So we need to understand, again, the perception and the lens that our customers are viewing our products, services, and companies. So brand perception studies and brand awareness studies are so incredibly important for businesses to understand where they stand today, so that when we can benchmark where we are before we start putting together campaigns and products and services, so we can benchmark where we are. We also want to be able to then use these insights as we're building out our future campaigns, products, and services. So we want to make sure, as you're digging in, just a couple quick tips when we're looking at things like brand perception. We want to start, though, up at the top of awareness, right? And as we're doing your surveys out there, we want to make sure that we're leading, before asking them specifically, what do they think about your brand or product? We want to come all the way up to the top of the funnel, and we want to start with some open-ended questions. What do they think about, and what comes to mind when they think about your product or service, right? So we want to ask some open-ended questions so that we know what's happening and how they view the product or service or space that you're in, because now we know what we can be overcoming or continuing to amplify the message of what we have. Then we're going to be coming down around brand awareness. This can be done through aided or unaided questions. So aided, or I guess we'll start with unaided. So unaided questions and saying, hey, if you're thinking about this product or services, what brands come to mind, or where would you go first? This is unaided, and we would love, I think everybody would love for their brand to be top of mind. Where do you think of to go get coffee? Everyone's thinking about Starbucks, what's at the top, or where are we going for certain types of products, right? So we want unaided at the top so that we know, do they come up top of mind? And then who else is coming up top of mind for your customers, because these are the competitors that you have. Who do they believe is solving the problems or providing the product or service in your space? We can then move down to aided questions. Aided is when we are then prompting them, providing them information. So we say, of these 5, 6, 7 brands, who is it that you know that's in this space, and do you know what types of products that they serve? So again, or provide. So then we're moving down from just overall awareness and what people think and perception to then your product or your brand awareness, aided and unaided, and then really into brand perception. So what do people think about and believe that you do, right? When they hear your name, your brand name, when they hear your product or your tagline, and when they see your logo, what do you think that it means? So we spend so much time and effort and energy on our marketing and our branding, and we know what we want it to, the impact that we want it to have. Now is the time to now test and say, okay, does this have the desired impact that we wanted it to have? So through brand perception type studies and questions, then we can start asking, and then we can find out where that disconnect might be, or where the gap is, and where we need to spend our time and effort going forward. So brand perception studies are incredibly important for so many reasons, but one, being able to benchmark where you are so you can see the impact of the studies and campaigns and projects that you've done, and so that we know what is the perception and the reality for these customers, so that we know the right messaging that we can be using going forward, right? The worst thing that we want is to be spending all this time, money, and effort on our marketing efforts and it having an unintended consequence on the other side, or not having the impact that we want it to have. So how do we know what's going on out there? We talk to them and we communicate. So go out. I encourage you to do some brand awareness and brand perception studies going forward. We do have our Jumpstart survey overview on our website that you can download with a little bit more information of all the surveys that I'm covering in these videos, but all the type of touch points and surveys that we believe that every company should be doing out there. So good luck with your customer insight strategy, and let us know if we can help in any way.